is inevitable when you find your God-given purpose, and why purpose is the best strategy for online business success. No matter what business model you choose, if you're not tapped into your God-given purpose, it is so in vain. And it is likely not going to, first of all, you may not make much money. Second of all, you probably won't be fulfilled. Okay? And I'll say you won't be fulfilled. If you're doing business and you don't know your God-given purpose, you're not going to be fulfilled. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 questions that you need to ask in order to find your God-given purpose, first of all, and how to apply that purpose to your business, okay? So we're going to dive right in. I've already went over a little bit about why you're not going to be fulfilled in your business unless you know your God-given purpose. And it's really simple because God created you for a very specific reason. And there's something that you can thrive in. There is something that you can excel in. There is something that if you do that in your business, you will absolutely exceed all of your income expectations. You will absolutely thrive in your chosen field. And I'm going to give you a little hint right off the bat, okay? It might be the thing that you're counting yourself out from, okay? Because if you're anything like me, I started in the online business space like 4 years ago. And I did MLM, I tried affiliate marketing, I tried Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, I tried high ticket coaching, all these ways in order to create success. And I went through this for 3 years of struggle, and yes, I made $17,000 in my first MLM company, but it wasn't sustainable income. It wasn't growing, and it was a constant rat race, it felt like. And so, what God showed me is that I wasn't supposed to be doing that. That I was supposed to build an entire business based on my God-given purpose, and that I could do it through coaching. And when I discovered coaching, shortly after that, God revealed the Queen's Wealth Path, which is my 3-step framework for finding your God-given purpose, aligning it with a profitable niche in the marketplace, and then launching an automated course business that runs on autopilot and gets you sales even while you're sleeping. And if you want more information about that, you can grab the free training down in the description. But God revealed that to me, and then that created like $2,000 days. And it's something that I never thought was possible. And the hint that I said was that it's probably in an industry that you've been counting yourself out. Like you feel like an imposter when you think, could I really do that? Could I really be in the business niche? That was me. I thought, could I really be in the business niche? Because I saw all these business moguls and these gurus and all these people who had all these incredible gifts, and I just admired them, and I'm like, wow, like, oh my goodness. And I just fangirled over them for like 3 years. And I never thought that I would be able to do that though. And I didn't know that that's exactly the industry that God was going to put me in. I didn't know. I counted myself out for that industry, and I thought, there is no way. There is no way. So there might be an industry that you're thinking, man, that would be cool if I could do that. Or maybe you're like researching and you're like trying to learn more about what they do or what they teach, and you're just fascinated by how they do it and everything, and you're like, there's no way I could do that. That might be your destiny. Okay. And now I'm going to go over 5 questions, just 5 simple questions that you can ask yourself that will help you dive in to your actual purpose. And then at the end, I'll share with you how you can turn that purpose into an income source that out-earns any 9-to-5 job that you could ever have, and that creates the income that allows your family to travel freely, allows you to retire your husband if you want to, allows your coaching and course creation business to exceed what a 40-hour-a-week job could do in multiple weeks. Like, I earned one paycheck last week that exceeded what my husband would have made in a hard labor job for 2 weeks of 40 hours. Upwards of 40 hours per week. That's insane. In one day, I earned that. So, what I'm trying to say is, when you discover your purpose, everything changes, and it no longer, you're not hustling to get clients. You're not chasing any clients. You're not begging in the DMs. I know you don't beg, but you know what I mean. Like, trying to explain the value of what you do, but it feels exhausting. You don't have to do that anymore. So, I'm going to share with you the 5 questions. Here's the first one. Number 1, who am I? Who am I? That's a good question, right? Who am I? And when you think about this particular question, who am I, it kind of makes you dive into like the deeper, under the surface level. You're more than just a mom. You're more than just a coach. You're more than just a wife. You are a spiritual being who is created in the image of God. And God told us, the first thing about us that he told us is that he's creative. So you are a creative being who's supposed to rule over a specific assignment. You're supposed to have dominion over a specific assignment. That was God's first command to man. He said, be fruitful. This is in Genesis 1:28. He said, be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion. Okay? And that's what you get to do. When you discover who you are, who's the queen inside? Like, what does she do? How much income does she earn? What industry is the queen in? Like, if you were a queen, and if God said to you today, and he said, hey, whatever industry that you want to be in, you can choose anything. What industry would you choose? And I'm going to make you successful in it. What would you choose? Who are you really? Who are you really? And it's important to even think about the traits that people said. All the people said you weren't. They said you're not funny enough, you're too loud, you're too introverted, you're too extroverted, you're too skinny, you're too fat, you're too whatever they said. Okay? Those are actually your superpowers. Whatever they said that you're too whatever. Like, for me, I think a lot of times I grew up, I have too much of an attitude, and I have too much of like, my laugh is too loud, and what else was it? My facial expressions. Okay? But those are my superpowers. If I tap into those things, it is going to be so on. And that is what I'm doing now in this moment and in this season of my life, where I'm actually creating wealth in online business by living out my God-given purpose. So those are actually your superpowers. The second question, we're going to kind of rapid speed through here because there's a lot going on. I have a cat who has kittens, so you hear these meows in the background. And my son is running around too. My other son is sleeping. It's like, whew, all this stuff. But, so, who am I? Who am I called to serve? Let's go over that one last, okay? So we're going, who am I? What can I do? This is a potential question. This means, what can you really do? What can you really do, my friend? That is the question. Are you tapping into any significant percentage of the potential that God placed inside of you? Or are you just settling for a sliver of the potential that God placed inside of you? If you can create millions in online business, why not do that? If you have the potential to, why not do that? Why settle for less? God never said settle for less. That's religious people telling you don't work too hard. Oh, just be content, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to do that. God maximized his own potential. When he created the world, he did not just create one ocean. He created multiple oceans. He did not just create one planet. He created many planets. He did not just create, the grass. He created the grass, the trees, and the plants, and the flowers, and the things that create food for us, the fruit, and the vegetables, and everything. He did not just create animals. He created human beings made in the image of God. God maximized his potential, and then he was so tired of maximizing his potential, by the end of the 7 days, he rested on the 7th day. Have you been so tired at the end of your week of maximizing the heck out of your potential that you have to rest? Or are you staying so small, and by the end of the week, you're so tired of doing nothing, or you're so tired of pretending and making excuses for why you're doing nothing, that you gotta rest because you're tired of the bull crap? That was me. That was me. Y'all know it takes the same amount of energy to do very little than it does to do a lot. It takes the same amount of energy, and it takes even more energy for the people who do nothing. It takes them so much energy to convince themselves that they're doing the correct thing, and to convince themselves that there's some kind of spiritual reason why they're doing nothing. It takes a lot of energy. I can guarantee you, the person that does nothing in the church, not like in the church, but like they don't do nothing to contribute to the world. They can sit there for hours and talk about all the things and all the reasons why they don't do nothing, and what's so wrong with the world, and blah 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 blah, all this stuff. The ones who do nothing, they use so much energy justifying to themselves why they do nothing. And so my exhortation to you is to make sure that you're maximizing your potential. So what do we go over? Who am I? What can I do? Where am I from? Is definitely that you recognize you're a heavenly being. You recognize that you're not from here, but God put you here on purpose, for a purpose. Your goal is not to get to heaven. God put you on earth for a reason. Your goal is to maximize your potential here on earth, and to rule over the assignment that he's given you, and allow God to rule over your life. That is what you're supposed to do. There's a scripture, it's in Psalm, that says, God did not create the earth in vain. He created it to be inhabited. He's going to create a new heaven and a new earth. So why are you so desperate to get to heaven? I know it's beautiful. I know it's amazing, but he put you here for a reason. So do your assignment while you're on the earth, and then enjoy the beautiful fruits, the crowns, the treasure that you stored up in heaven by doing God's will on earth. Okay? So, who am I? What can I do? Where am I from? Where am I from? Who am I called to serve? And I don't know if I'll be able to remember the last one, but that's okay, because I'll bring it up another time. So let's do the last one. We're going to say this is the last one for this video. It's who am I called to serve? So the question is, you need to discover who you're called to serve, because there's specific people that are waiting on you. And these specific people, you can't serve them in just any industry. And that's why I created the training down below, because I want to show you how you can create an entire online course business all based on God's purpose for your life, so that you serve the exact people that God put you on this earth to serve in the exact way that serves them best. And then you get to get paid, and they thank you for being obedient. They pay you and they thank you. They say, oh my goodness, thank you for creating the solution. I've been held back for so long. So for example, if you're a single mom, you might create a course for other single moms who are struggling to stay faithful, who are struggling with no support system. And you're going to show them how to stay faithful during that season. You might be someone who's lost 50 pounds, and you know exactly how to do it. And in a spiritual way, you have these spiritual things that you do, that you know, that God taught you in order to lose all that weight. Or maybe it's just a traditional way without the spiritual stuff. Whatever it is, you can teach people how to lose weight, and that's like $1 billion industry. Probably more than that. Probably $1 trillion industry. Okay? Or maybe you're a photographer and you've been doing it for 7 years and you downplay your gifts. But the truth is, the person who's a beginner would happily pay you at least $500 to learn how or learn the beginning stuff. They would pay you $1,000. And I'll also teach you in the training below why I don't recommend pricing your course under $500. And I'll show you exactly how to sell it to the people who already want to buy what you already want to sell. Okay? So, purpose is the only way to achieve true success. And you can build an entire business based on your purpose. And this business is going to create true freedom, financial freedom, freedom in your nervous system to know, like, wow, I'm really doing what I'm supposed to do and I'm getting paid for it. Okay. You're going to feel confident and you're going to feel alive again. And the lion inside of you is going to wake up and it's going to want to roar because it's going to be doing exactly what God created you to do. And you're going to be able to retire your entire household from your 9-to-5 job. From 9-to-5 jobs. Like, you won't have to rely on a paycheck from a 9-to-5 job ever again for your household. And that's exactly what I teach you in the training. So go grab it and I'll see you there. Purpose is the only way to create true online business success. Thanks for watching.